Rain quickly exits the state this morning with wind and wildfire concerns this afternoon, but what about the chance for severe storms tomorrow and snow? Let's talk about it in today's Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Reimer. It is the 14th of February, 2023, the Tuesday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Let me put this microphone in front of my face so y'all might actually be able to hear me. Morning. This is why we check things and check the settings before we go live. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who are celebrating it. For those of you like me who are forever alone, bah humbug. We are going to see rain exiting the state quickly this morning, followed by clearing skies and much breezier, yet still warm conditions. Let's just take a look at what the high-res rapid refresh model believes this is going to look like this morning. Those blue arrows, by the way, show the wind direction, technically wind speed too, but we're not going to get that complicated, just the general wind direction. You can see we're going to have this line of storms exit the state very quickly this morning, followed by clearing skies and very strong westerly to southwesterly winds. Those of you in the Panhandle, West Texas, may have wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour later this morning into early this afternoon. Rest of the state, especially along and west of Interstate 35, all the way from Laredo up to, let's just say, Austin, and then technically East Texas, Northeast Texas, we could have wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour. It's going to be a very windy day, and the potential will be there for the chance of fire mischief. Speaking of wind, let's just take a look at the forecast peak wind conditions for today. You can see here the forecast wind conditions from local weather service offices. I dare you to find where those weather service office boundaries line up on here. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to apply a smoothing filter to clean that up a bit, but life is life. We are going to see a pretty good bout of wind today, this morning into this afternoon, so hey, you know what? Spring's not that far away. In terms of the wildfire threat, today's fire threat will be high to very high across South Texas, the Hill Country, down into Southwest Texas, Big Bend National Park. West Texas and the Texas Panhandle, not a surprise, with above average temperatures, those strong winds and plummeting humidity values later this morning. Tomorrow, the chance for fires actually goes up across West Texas. We will see the fire danger rating jump up into the extreme category. Southwest Texas, a moderate to high potential for fire issues if we have fires develop across essentially the western half of Texas tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we note that potential will shift southeast. The highest potential for wildfire issues, should fires develop, will be across the Edwards Plateau, the Rio Grande Plains, all the way down the Rio Grande Valley, even into portions of the Middle Texas coast, Hill Country, etc. So again, with dormant fuels through the winter, we're not going to really see much relief in terms of fire danger until spring wetting rains arrive and we actually start seeing vegetation blossom. Now, this is going to be the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. I told you in yesterday's video we talked more about this, and so we shall. Storm Prediction Center has highlighted a risk for severe storms Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening across Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas, and East Texas. The highest relative potential for a few severe storms, let's just say from Bowie down to Mineral Wells, all the way southeast, Hillsboro, roughly to Lufkin, to Beaumont, points north and east. The potential for a couple rounds of storms tomorrow. We'll talk more about the timing aspects, but this is going to be one of those situations where we may see storms fire up in East Texas, well east of the dry line during the early afternoon hours, and then possibly storms firing up on the dry line in North Texas around dinner time, and then a third round of storms possibly late tomorrow night as a cold front moves southeast. Strongest storms tomorrow could produce large hail up to the size of golf balls. If we really get rambunctious, we could actually have hail up to the size of tennis balls. Localized damaging wind gusts, and the potential for a few tornadoes. The tornado risk is there, but there are questions that need to be answered regarding storm mode, just how high the threat for tornadoes may or may not be, etc. Let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh for tomorrow. Now, a couple notes here. One, note how we're going to see some storms. Actually, you know what? Here, let's do this. I'm going to actually try my hand at this. Here's noon. Here's 2 p.m. See, we have scattered showers and storms across the Brazos Valley, East Texas. Most of this is just showery garbage at this point. Fast forward, here's 3 o'clock. We're starting to see a couple of discrete, more intense-looking thunderstorms develop across portions of East Texas. Again, those of you longtime followers know that when storms are out by themselves, we tend to have some issues versus if we're dealing with a squall line. Now, in this case, this is just weather model guidance, one weather model, but if this model were to be right, these storms would have the potential to be supercellular in nature, with large hail to damaging hail, in fact, localized damaging wind gusts, and yes, the potential for a few tornadoes. So we're going to need to monitor data carefully. And notice in this picture, essentially, these storms are out by themselves, well east of the dry line. The dry line at this point is still west of Interstate 35. So again, these storms would be moving northeast, probably 40 to 50 miles an hour if we have to deal with something like this. And if we do, again, these will have the potential, if not the likelihood, of producing severe weather. So we're going to need to keep a close eye on data. You'll see here, fast forward 4 o'clock, you can see storms East Texas continuing to move northeast. Those would make it into northwest Louisiana, southwest Arkansas by dinner time. And again, those could be producing severe weather through the journey tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening in northeast Texas. Round 2 starts firing up on the dry line. Southern Oklahoma, Texoma, down to North Texas, maybe just northwest of the DFW Metroplex. Those storms could also become severe with large to very large hail, localized damaging wind gusts, maybe a tornado or two, if this specific model solution were to be correct. You can see fast forward, those storms begin to mature in southern Oklahoma. This particular model run really has a more rambunctious north of the Red River early tomorrow evening. The exact location still to be determined, but those storms likely supercellular, capable of producing nasty size hail. We're talking true hailers in this case, so those of you true hailers, again, some of those could be producing tennis ball or larger size hail, localized damaging wind gust, and the potential for a tornado. Fast forward, here's 8, 9. You can see the dry line cold front starting to light up a bit with some showers and storms in the Metroplex. And then here we go, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And then you can see here this model isn't overly rambunctious with developing a squall line along the cold front. You can see a couple of storms just behind the cold front, with the cold front itself depicted by that line essentially from near Austin, Waco, up to New Boston. And again, we'll just have to keep watching data as we continue to get into the realm of higher resolution weather model data. Let me let this play out in a complete loop. And again, so round 1, isolated supercells out by them lonesome in East Texas, Northeast Texas, 2 p.m. onward tomorrow afternoon. If those mature and develop, we could have issues in the severe weather department, including a tornado threat. Possibility of some severe storms, let me be more acute than that, a few severe storms around dinner time from the DFW Metroplex north and west up into southern Oklahoma. Those storms could have large hail, if not will have large hail, damaging winds, maybe a tornado. And then round 3, if it happens, would be a broken line of showers and storms along that southeast advancing cold front tomorrow night into Thursday morning. First 2 rounds of storms could be more discrete cellular, which would mean large to very large hail, localized damaging wind gusts, a couple of tornadoes. The squall line would have a higher risk if it matures and develops of damaging straight line winds. Finally, I haven't talked about it yet, but you'll notice this specific model run, we have snow falling in the northern Texas Panhandle. We could see a dusting to 1/2 inch of snow all the way pretty much along the north of Interstate 40 in the Texas Panhandle tomorrow afternoon. The potential does exist for 2 to 4 inches of snow. Let's just say Dalhart over to Perryton, north, and then in the Oklahoma Panhandle, Boise City up into northeast New Mexico, southeast Colorado, the potential for 6 to 10 inches of snow. And again, there's going to be a very sharp southern cutoff on that snow line that goes from a little snow to, hey, get out the yardstick type snow. So we'll keep an eye on that just in case it either shifts a little south, which would increase the threat for a pretty good snowstorm in the northern Texas Panhandle, or if this shifts north a bit, in which case the Panhandle's left high and dry, and then Boise City folks up in the Oklahoma Panhandle get to play with their yardsticks and snow measure. So that is what we're going to be dealing with in that department. In terms of the forecast rain totals out of this, well, essentially this morning through tomorrow and tomorrow night, this isn't going to be a big time super duper awesome blossom rain event. Storms are going to be moving quickly, but as always, some of you in this rainfall graphic are going to see more rain, some of you are going to see less, but the potential for 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain is evident essentially east of a line from Sherman, Dallas, all the way southeast to Beaumont. Highest rain totals, again, look just northeast of Texas, and even those aren't looking to exceed 1 inch. So we're not going to be dealing with widespread flooding issues, but I am becoming a little more concerned about the severe weather potential tomorrow, and we're going to be keeping a close eye on that as always. For what it's worth, looks like we're going to have a couple of storm chasers up in northeast Kansas today. If you want to watch their live feed on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel, a non-zero chance of a brief tornado in what's called a cold core environment. I won't go nerdy and explain all that. And then tomorrow, we're probably going to have a number of chasers out and about with multiple live streams on the Texas Storm Chasers YouTube channel. And if needed, we'll have live severe weather coverage on all of our social media platforms, the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel included. So, again, this is a good time to download the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. You could do so. Just search for it in your app store. It's there. Or head over to the Texas Storm Chasers website and click Enable to those notifications. You'll get the latest forecast videos, live severe weather coverage sent right to your device. Y'all have a good day. Next Texas Weather Roundup will be out by 6 a.m. Wednesday. Wouldn't surprise me if we have a couple discussions before then, though, so keep checking back. Y'all have a good Tuesday, and God bless.